Alright, I did my persuasion speech on a very controversial topic, and it's on whether to vape or not to vape. It's a Saturday night, and you're hanging out in town. From a small town like mine, you'll probably be sitting in an old parking lot of a closed business or riding around or something. And you got a friend that keeps hitting something and he's smoking, and you don't know what it is. And then he offers you a hit, and it looks like a little USB drive, but it's really a jewel. And he tells you that it's completely harmless and that it's just got a great taste and all that kind of stuff. Alright, just exactly what is being offered. Should you accept the invitation or try not to? The e-cigarette was invented in Beijing, China in 2003, and it was an instant success. It was invented by a pharmacist, and he was also a smoker, and he was trying to figure out a better way of how to smoke but not smoking cigarettes. It was an immediate success in China, and it made its way to the U.S. pretty quick. The major cigarette companies, faced with many restrictions on the use of a traditional cigarette, quickly saw the value of the new method of an e-cig and electronic devices that heat a little coil inside of them and produce a vapor from the juice that you put inside of it. They come in all shapes and sizes. They come in something that looks like a credit card, something that looks like a USB, all sorts of different kind of box mods and all this kind of stuff. Most of them have a battery and a heating element and a place to hold the liquid. Some e-cigs look like regular cigarettes, cigars, or pipes. And then some, like I said, look like a USB flash drive or a credit card or something like that. E-cigs work by producing an aerosol by heating a liquid with a coil, and it contains nicotine, flavoring, and other chemicals that make the aerosol. The most popular brand of e-cigs, as y'all probably know, is Juul. A Juul is shaped like a USB flash drive and a battery-powered device that heats a nicotine pod that contains the liquid to produce the smoke and the nicotine to be inhaled. The use of an e-cig in the United States grew rapidly in the last couple of years. And in 2017, U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams declared youth e-cigarette use has increased 900% between 2011 and 2015. As of 2018, only 1 in 5 high school students use a vape. Vaping among youth is skyrocketing, which is getting a new generation addicted to nicotine and introducing them to smoking. First, you may not realize that all Juul pods and e-cigarettes include nicotine, a harmful and addictive substance, but one little Juul pod contains as much nicotine in it as an entire pack of cigarettes, and it'll last you 200 puffs. Nicotine used by young people may increase the risk of brain, it may lead to ADD, and the human brain continues developing until the age of 25, so the use of nicotine makes you not focus on what you need to do. It can also change moods and impulse control. Instead of working to prevent nicotine addiction in youth, the tobacco industry, well aware flavored tobacco products appeal to today's youth, continue to offer these products in fruit and candy flavors. Second point is the use of e-cigs and vaping cause serious health risks. People who use e-cigs have a 71% increased risk of a stroke, 40% higher risk of heart disease as compared to non-users. Studies also show that continued use of e-cigs can cause cardiovascular harm and may increase the odds of heart attack by 42%. Researchers have also found that e-cigs may also leak toxic metals when you use them, because the heating element can heat the metal enough to where it gives off particles of the metal in with the smoke. Some of the ingredients in the liquids used in e-cigs change composition when they are heated, leading to inhalation of harmful compounds such as formaldehyde, and that's the same ingredient used to embalm a deceased person. A third reason a person should never use an e-cig is that e-cigs can catch fire and can even explode. I've seen all sorts of pictures and videos on YouTube and Facebook and all that of somebody having one in their pocket and then it just burst in flames. I also seen one of a guy using one and it blew this much of his face off. So, e-cig explosions have led to the loss of body parts such as eyes, tongue, or tooth, third-degree burns, holes in the roof of your mouth, and even death. Between 2015 and 2017, over 2,000 people sought emergency room treatment for a burn or explosion from these devices. The experts believe that there were many more injuries that went untreated, so that the person thought they weren't that big a deal, or it wasn't harmful enough to go to the emergency room or whatever. Both the users and the e-cigarettes and innocent bystanders risk serious bodily harm and injury when using these devices. Airlines have also came to where they prohibit any kind of e-cig being carried into carry-on baggage due to possibility of lithium batteries, which using an e-cig of catching fire. In January 2019, a passenger's e-cig overheated and caught fire in the airplane's cabin. In the same month, an explosion tore a Texas man's carotid artery from debris of the e-cig exploding. In 2018, a Florida man was killed by shrapnel from his e-cig. Who would have ever guessed that a cigarette could actually explode and cause serious injuries or even death? Now that you know that even the single use of an e-cig can cause a lifetime of addiction to nicotine, which can seriously affect the development of critical areas of the brain, that the use of e-cigs can greatly increase your chances of stroke and heart disease, heart attacks, etc. And that there is a strong chance the device you are placing in your mouth near your face can explode and cause permanent face damage or any kind of traumatic damage. Do you want to set the invitation to vape? I hope I have provided you today with the 3 reasons why you should never use an e-cig and that you should choose your health over juicy flavors of vape.